Hello and welcome to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel, and in today's episode it's going to be the final instalment of this Vauxhall full range catalogue for 1978 and the Vauxhall Royale. Welcome back, and if you're new to Quartzlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond that. So if you're interested in cars, car knowledge, looking back on cars we all remember, please consider subscribing. It is completely free. Anyway, back to today's episode, and yes, it's the concluding part of this Vauxhall range brochure for 1978. Now don't worry if you've missed any of the episodes, really they're very much standalone episodes, so it really doesn't matter too much what order you actually watch them in. I'll do a link to all the episodes at the end. Anyway, the final installment means the flagship model at this time, and the flagship model at this time was the Vauxhall Royale, so let's have a look at that one now. So here we have today's brochure. It says Vauxhall All Model Catalogue, October to December 1978. Last model we looked at is actually the front cover, the Vauxhall Carlton. These Mark 1 Carltons, I think, were my favourite of the Carltons. I love the front end. They look something different, although, like we talked about last week, I think the issue with them was there was only one trim level, so how could that possibly compete with the Granada? Anyway, Vauxhall did still have a little bit of a trick up the sleeve. They had the Vauxhall Royale, and certainly an interesting car. Let's move to that page. And here we have it, the Vauxhall Royale, and yes, think Opel Senator A. It was more or less exactly the same car. Seen here in saloon, although we do have a coupe version, so the Royale Coupe as well. Think Opel Monza. And again, like I said, these were relatively new cars in the Vauxhall range in 78. They're sort of like the luxury versions. What we'll do anyway, we'll read a little bit of the introduction, then we'll come back and have a look at this image. So the Royale ultra luxurious saloon. Very occasionally a great new car is launched. The Royale is such a car. Distinctively styled with a strong image of craftsmanship. Every detail expresses refinement. There is nothing ordinary about the Royale. It has specifications so comprehensive that only two options are available: air conditioning and manual transmission. So automatic transmission is standard, so too are power steering, power operated windows, there is tinted glass all round and a sunshine roof. The Royale driver can adjust his seat for height as well as reach and rake, then adjust the tiltable steering wheel to ensure his total comfort. Throughout, the Royale shows evidence of a thoughtful approach with such equipment as a push-button radio stereo cassette player with 3 speakers and a centralised electric door locking system. And there is much more on this prestigious saloon to justify fully the term prestigious. The Royale's powerful performance from a highly refined 6-cylinder 2,800 power unit is fully complemented by independent suspension all round, engineered to give the large saloon a standard of road holding and handling rarely achieved on cars of this size, and the Royale is exceptionally quiet on the road. The application of aerodynamics and extensive wind tunnel testing to its styling, plus liberal use of sound deadening material, all combine to ensure whisper quiet, high-speed travel. Brilliant design, innovative engineering, expertly applied and unstinting quality give the Royale a unique flavour amongst Europe's prestige saloons. At the bottom there in bold print it says a full description and specification of the Royal Saloon is presented in a special lavishly illustrated Royale catalogue available from your Vauxhall dealer. A bit of a clause there to say, that's all there really is there for the the Royale. Yeah, I'll zoom in on the main image in a moment, but that's all there is for the Royale because there was a separate brochure. But the weird thing is there was a separate brochure to all the other models, and they went into more detail, I guess because it was such a new model. The actual lavish illustrated brochure for the Royale actually looked like this. This is the brochure that they're actually talking about. It says a very, very occasionally a great new car is launched. Same sort of title, same sort of image, although it gives us a nice look at the front of the car with these nice headlamp wipers, which are difficult to see in the brochure we're looking at the moment. So obviously this exactly same image or picture shown here, but with way more detail. Anyway, let's go back to our other main image for the brochure we're supposed to be looking at. So again, Vauxhall have gone down the route of, instead of having lots of trims like what Ford would have, really we've just got one main trim level, although it's kind of like very much fully loaded, and like it says, we've just got a couple of options there of the air conditioning, and if you wanted a manual transmission you could get one, although the auto seems to be the preferred transmission at this time. Lovely alloy wheels. I'm presuming they're alloy. They do look very interested. Rear lights, a little bit smoked out. I always thought that was ahead of its time. Interior, I don't know if you can make out, sort of like a red interior. Vauxhall like doing very colourful interiors at this time, and I can only approve. Anyway, let's turn the page. Actually, scrap that. The rear lights don't appear to be smoked on these Royales, as we can see. Just normal red. I think it was the Senator. I've just thrown up a Senator image for 78 as well. It was the Senator that had these rather nice smoked lights. Like I say, I always thought these were way ahead of their time. So did the Royale never get the smoked lights? Maybe one for you to throw out there and ask the members of the public or loyal fans, very knowledgeable out there. Maybe the Royale never got those smoked lights. That is actually all there is for the saloon, rather strangely. I mean, like I say, it does say you can get a lavish illustrated brochure itself for the Royale, and yes you can, but you know, this is a full range brochure, and they've gone into much more detail about the other models in the range, I guess because there's only really one spec level. They've kind of run out of things to say, which is a little bit unusual in a brochure, but there we go. It takes us to the next model, and again we've only got this one page for it. Probably my favourite, actually, the coupe. It was a much nicer looking car than the saloon, I think. Particularly like this rear end, of course not as practical, but certainly by looks alone it looks a lot nicer, doesn't it? This of course would have been called the Opel Monza in Europe. Vauxhall insisted having the Royale name until I think around about 1983, but basically the same car, so it was always a little bit weird. Anyway, let's have a look at this right up. It says the 3-door luxury coupe. Functional beauty, the Royale coupe, 5 inches shorter and 1 inch lower than its saloon counterpart, is a versatile 4-seater that's more than just a pretty shape. The wind-cheating fast profile roofline of the Royale coupe sweeps down to the bold lamp clusters. Its superiority in styling stems from innovative designers exploiting the newest and most advanced techniques developed by General Motors, the world's largest car manufacturer. Creative engineering, painstaking attention to detail, and the use of top quality materials by craftsmen have all played their part. Fastidious design detail is endorsed by a body side moulding that guards the double-skinned metallic paint against car park door knocks and emphasises low waistline. So it's almost kind of like telling you that it only comes in metallic paint. You can tell this is a new model because they've not really sorted the details out in some areas, I seem to feel. Anyway, at the same time it links the deep front and rear wraparound rubber faced bumpers. It goes on to say, the Royale coupe has the same high level of equipment as its saloon counterpart. At the rear, gas-filled struts lift and support the framed tinted glass tailgate, which raises on retractable cords. The rear half of the hinged luggage cover tonneau for easy access. For awkward loads, the tonneau can be removed altogether and the rear seat backrest folded forward to create a flat luggage deck almost 6 foot long. The spur wheel is tucked out under the carpeted floor. The Royale Coupe is every inch what it looks, a fast, stylish, refined luxury car with driving qualities that are superb by any standard. And again, it says, full description in the special Royal Coupe brochure. And the lavishly equipped brochure for the saloon is actually the same for the Royal. If we just turn to the coupe pages in this main brochure, same car there, used just on a double page spread, so it's a little bit bigger. And we also get these rather nice images down there. Let's just have a peep of them. I know we're getting a little bit sidetracked, but that gives you an idea how the hatch opens up, and also gives you a nice idea how the interiors, both the blue interior and a red interior, look on these particular cars. And again, the blue interior and the red interior, and even a little bit of a look at the dash. We get a bit sidetracked, but I thought it was worth just adding this, and gives you kind of like reference to what it's talking about, the main brochure, as there is so little detail actually in this particular all-model brochure for the Royale for whatever reason. And then we get various different angles and nice sort of like arty shots of the same car, and of course headlamp wipers on these as well. Anyway, we are getting sidetracked. Let's get back to our brochure we're actually supposed to be looking at. I think looks wise, like I said, this is probably my favourite. Certainly I think it looks a lot better than the saloon. I love that rear on there, and certainly in 78 this certainly would have looked something really special driving around on Britain's Broad, I would say. It looks a good quality car from the outside, although I don't think the quality was that good, but still, it does look a nice quality car, and I do like the colour scheme for this particular one. We've got that lovely blue interior, and then we've got this metallic, it looks like a grey-blue exterior, and like a second colour underneath, so almost like two-tone blue outside, blue interior, and metallic paint as well. I think it looks really good. Nice use of alloy wheels as well. And then we get a sweep to the front as well, and that big door. So certainly a nice vehicle, but again, not much about it in this particular brochure, sadly. Now I did say before the smoked rear lights, I can't tell if they are actually smoked or not at this time. Possibly not. But again, I like how they position the Vauxhall in between those lights. I think it looked quite classy. It looks like we've even got a little bit of a shiny exhaust tip on there as well. I've just shown a little bit of an image. I've just thrown this up. This is the Monza, so the Opel version, obviously darkened rear lights. And again, that Vauxhall idea of putting the Vauxhall badge in this sort of silver area and dropping the plate, where the Monza would have had the number plates in between the lights. So two different ways of doing it. I do like the smart lights though. It doesn't look like the Royal did that, but I do like that. And like I said, that seemed very advanced for the 70s. And that's it for the Royale. Surprisingly, really, isn't it? Kind of just wraps up, and that's the end of that work. You think they'd make more of a deal of these flagship models, even in this brochure, even when they say there's another brochure out there. But there's another brochure out there for all the models, and they made more of a deal of it. Anyway, we may as well have a look at these, the Vauxhall options, and some of the options you possibly could have had in the Vauxhall range. So of course, automatic transmission, a sunroof of course, and what looks like some form of alloy wheel. Yeah, it tells us we get various metallic paints of course. And yeah, it's calling that a sports alloy road wheel. These handsome alloy wheels have been designed to complement the Carlton style and add a touch of extra distinction, and certainly it will look quite nice on a Carlton, I would suggest. And like I say, the sunroof, the Carlton option, can be used almost throughout the year because the crank operated sunroof panel can also be tilted for increased ventilation. So again, it's talking about the Carlton there as well. What else have we got on this brochure? Well, it talks about things like master hire, Euro service, And then if we turn the page, we get this amazing sort of test circuit. So it says here, Vauxhalls go through the same grueling tests that they underwent as prototypes at the 700-acre Millbrook Proving Ground. It says picture top left. Which is going to be this guy. It shows a section of the Millbrook's 2-mile high-speed circuit. Cars can be driven up to 100 miles per hour in the outer lane to access durability. Very interesting. Then we get various VIP insurance plans for your cars, and even a form to fill out for your insurance. And then we get this rather nice image of the seats, or bold plaid, ribbed velour, and that's fabulously horrendous vinide. Very colourful. I always liked Vauxhall at this time because everything was so colourful. We also get the colour guide again, very colourful, and we did have a look at this colour guide in a previous episode. Finally, we get this nice image saying the DTV success. Rather lovely image of a Chevette hatch there. DTV meaning the dealer team Vauxhall. There we go. Lots of rallying success, of course. And then on the back page, which we may have seen already, I think, on the first episode, but there it is, that green example of the Vauxhall Cavalier GLS Sports hatch. And you know what? I'm going to say this is my favourite car in this particular brochure. Let me know what your favourite is, of course, though. Very interesting to hear what people's views are, which Vauxhall they preferred, and of course, if you remember the Royales, jot that in the comments as well. And thank you so much for watching Quarterlight today. I've added a couple of extra little boxes there for videos you can click on and watch different episodes, and also the back episodes of this particular brochure for the 1978 Vauxhall. But like I said, we'll end by saying please do like and subscribe if you've not done already. It is all completely free, and we'll see you very soon. So we'll say take care and goodbye.